The year 2025 began with a familiar chill. President Donald Trump was back in the White House. His focus immediately turned towards China, signaling a major policy shift. The world braced for renewed tensions. A new era of direct confrontation seemed to be dawning. January wasn't even over before rhetoric escalated sharply. Trump made it clear his administration would take a hard line. This was not just talk, actions followed. He revived accusations of unfair trade practices. The international community watched with bated breath. Many nations rely on stable United States-China relations. The prospect of being caught in the middle was daunting. Uncertainty rippled through financial markets and strategic discussions. The historical context is important. Trump's first term saw similar disputes, but the stakes were now higher. China's economic and military power had grown. The world was also grappling with other crises. This new chapter felt more precarious. Many wondered if lessons from the past would be heeded, or if escalation would spiral further, creating a fractured international order. President Trump wasted no time. His administration announced sweeping new tariffs on Chinese goods. The justification: national security and unfair competition. These tariffs were higher than before, aiming to pressure China. The message was clear: America would play hardball. Beyond economics, Trump accused China of intellectual property theft and currency manipulation. He also raised alarms about China's military ambitions. These statements were broadcast globally to rally support and pressure Beijing. The United States increased its military presence in the Indo-Pacific. More naval patrols and joint exercises with allies were announced. This was a clear show of force and a warning to China. The Pentagon received new directives to bolster readiness. The combination of tariffs and military posturing was potent. It represented a multi-pronged approach to confronting China. Many analysts saw this as a significant escalation. The Trump administration seemed ready for confrontation. The goal: a fundamental reset of the United States-China relationship, even if it meant enduring global instability. The world watched as the stakes rose. China's response was swift and forceful. Beijing announced its own counter-tariffs targeting key American exports. This tit-for-tat move mirrored the United States strategy. Chinese officials condemned the tariffs as protectionist and baseless. A foreign ministry spokesperson warned of severe consequences. The language was stark, signaling a hardening stance. China made it clear it would not be bullied. State media rallied the population, emphasizing unity and resilience. Calls for self-reliance in technology grew louder. The aim: reduced vulnerability to United States pressure. This narrative consolidated domestic support for a firm response. The international community noted China's resolve. Beijing viewed Trump's policies as a direct challenge to its global standing. The leadership seemed prepared for a long struggle. They had resources and a strategic vision. Quick resolution seemed unlikely. The world braced for a prolonged adversarial relationship. Uncertainty became the new normal. The global order was shifting. Other world powers watched closely. Russia, under President Putin, saw opportunity in the United States-China tension. Moscow had been strengthening ties with Beijing for years. This new friction allowed Russia to deepen that bond. Russia voiced support for a multipolar world, subtly aligning with China. Saudi Arabia, led by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, faced a dilemma. The kingdom is a traditional United States ally, but its economic ties with China have grown. China is a major buyer of Saudi oil. Riyadh emphasized dialogue and stability, avoiding a strong public stance. Russia's actions went beyond words. Military cooperation and economic agreements with China increased. Putin saw a chance to reduce Western influence. A distracted United States gave Russia more room to maneuver. Saudi Arabia engaged in its own diplomacy, meeting with Chinese officials. Talks focused on economic cooperation and regional security. The Saudis signaled an independent foreign policy. Their actions showed a desire to diversify partnerships. Middle powers were asserting their own interests. The global order was becoming more complex. Alliances were shifting in subtle but significant ways. United States-China tensions sparked global consequences. Protests erupted outside United States embassies in several countries, especially those with close ties to China. Demonstrators voiced anger over American policies, seeing them as aggressive and destabilizing. A developing nation publicly rejected a United States aid package, citing pressure to pick sides. This act of defiance resonated with other nations seeking autonomy. Subtle shifts in alliances began. Some countries hedged their bets, exploring closer ties with China or seeking stronger United States security guarantees. Saudi Arabia, for example, discussed long-term energy deals and tech partnerships with China. The global map was being quietly redrawn. nations prioritized their own interests in a changing world. The South China Sea became a flashpoint. China claims most of this vital waterway. The United States challenges those claims with freedom of navigation operations. With tensions rising, these operations grew riskier. In March, a near collision between a United States Navy destroyer and a Chinese warship sent shockwaves through the region. Both sides blamed each other for unprofessional conduct. The incident highlighted the danger of accidental conflict. Military hotlines were used to de-escalate. Both nations increased their naval presence. The United States announced more patrols and joint drills with allies. China responded with its own drills and new capabilities. The waters became more crowded and tense. This cycle of action and reaction increased the risk of future encounters. The South China Sea is crucial for global trade. Any disruption could have severe economic consequences. Regional countries like Vietnam and the Philippines were caught in the middle. Their own territorial claims were at stake. The stability of this maritime choke point was under threat. Global supply chains faced new risks. Military strength became a cornerstone of Trump's strategy. His administration proposed a major defense budget increase. The focus, modernizing the United States military and expanding global reach. Trump spoke often of rebuilding American power. Peace through strength. China was frequently cited as the main rival. The increased spending targeted shipbuilding, advanced aircraft, cyber warfare, and space. The goal: maintain a technological and military edge. Defense contractors welcomed the news. Critics worried about an arms race. Allies wanted a strong United States but feared more unilateral actions. The debate over military spending became central at home and abroad. The scale of investment was substantial. It signaled a long-term commitment to outpacing rivals. Critics questioned affordability and necessity. Some argued it could provoke further escalation. Domestic programs faced potential cuts. The world watched as the United States doubled down on military might. The arms race dynamic intensified. Security and stability hung in the balance. The stakes had never been higher. The United Nations became a forum for urgent debate. Security Council meetings were called, but deadlock prevailed. The Secretary General urged restraint, but divisions ran deep. Meaningful resolutions proved elusive. Meanwhile, cyber attacks increased worldwide. Critical infrastructure and financial networks were targeted. Both United States and Chinese entities were implicated. The shadowy nature of cyber warfare added to the tension. Global stock markets reacted with volatility. New tariffs caused sharp drops in uncertainty. Investors feared a broader economic slowdown. Sectors reliant on global supply chains were hit hard. Currencies fluctuated as risks mounted. The World Trade Organization struggled to maintain authority. Economists warned of global economic fragmentation. Decoupling and rival economic blocs became real concerns. Businesses hesitated to invest. The global outlook turned pessimistic. The threat of recession loomed. Global uncertainty prevails. The critical question: are we witnessing a new Cold War? Two superpowers, differing ideologies, economic competition, and military posturing parallels are clear. Proxy conflicts and alliance building are evident. Yet today's global interconnectedness sets this rivalry apart. Some analysts argue it's not a new Cold War but an intensified phase of great power competition. Economic interdependence is a key difference. Unlike the Soviet era, the United States and China are deeply intertwined. Complete decoupling seems improbable. This creates a unique, complex dynamic. Elements of a Cold War-like struggle are undeniable. But the economic realities of the 21st century are different. The rivalry has no clear historical precedent. Navigating it is exceptionally challenging for policymakers. The world watches and waits with apprehension. The actions of Trump and China's leadership will shape the future. Will diplomacy prevail, or will tensions escalate? The hope is for peaceful coexistence, but the risk of confrontation remains.